Right then, you, human, are essentially a walking cylinder of opinions, anxieties, and snacks, a sort of ambulatory food processing tube with Wi-Fi access. And today, we're taking a tour of the machinery that keeps you alive despite your best efforts. Let's begin with the basics. Nutrition, a word people like to shout about online, usually while waving a smoothie or accusing bread of treason. But in reality, nutrition is simply your body extracting useful molecules from food and deploying them like tiny biochemical civil servants. Nutrients are the building blocks your body needs to construct, repair, and occasionally panic patch itself. Before we discuss what these nutrients actually do, we must meet the cast of characters running your internal food factory. Brace yourself. It's less glamorous than you'd hope. First up, your mouth, the original food processor, a built-in grinder powered by jaw muscles that evolved so you could chew roots, tear meat, and now, apparently, inhale crisps at 11 p.m. Saliva contains enzymes that begin digestion, though most people treat chewing as optional, much like reading terms and conditions. If you don't chew properly, your stomach will file a formal complaint. Next stop, the stomach, your personal acid jacuzzi. It's essentially a warm, bubbling vat of hydrochloric enthusiasm. Proteins unravel here, pathogens are obliterated, and your food is transformed into a sort of nutritional porridge. Think of it as demolition day on a construction site. Loud, messy, and absolutely necessary. Once the stomach has finished its dramatic performance, the mush moves into the small intestine, where the real magic happens. The pancreas releases enzymes, biochemical scissors, that snip carbs, fats, and proteins into absorbable pieces. Meanwhile, the intestinal walls are lined with villi and microvilli, which look like the world's tiniest shag carpet. Their job is to absorb nutrients with the enthusiasm of a British tourist absorbing UV rays on the first day of holiday. Everything absorbed is sent directly to the liver, the stern Victorian headmaster of your metabolism. Every molecule must report here for inspection. The liver decides whether to burn it, store it, detoxify it, or send it elsewhere. It's the ultimate micromanager, but without it, you'd last about as long as a biscuit in a toddler's hand. Now that the factory tour is complete, let's discuss the inputs, the macronutrients. These are the big three: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. They're required in large amounts, unlike micronutrients, which are needed in quantities so small they might as well be measured in fairy dust. Carbohydrates first. They are your body's preferred fuel, the biological equivalent of petrol. Every carb you eat, whether it's a blueberry or a donut the size of your face, becomes glucose. Once glucose enters your bloodstream, your body has two options: burn it immediately or store it as glycogen in your liver and muscles. Unfortunately, your glycogen storage is about as spacious as a London flat. Excess glucose is converted into body fat with ruthless efficiency. Carbs differ in how quickly they release glucose. Simple carbs are short chains that digest rapidly, causing your blood sugar to spike like a plot twist in a soap opera. Complex carbs digest slowly, providing steady energy and keeping you full longer. And then there's fiber, the carb your body can't digest but your gut bacteria treat like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Fiber slows glucose absorption, supports gut health, and keeps your bowel movements on schedule, a topic the British discuss only in emergencies. Next up, fats. Despite decades of slander, fats are essential. Your brain is largely made of fat, your cell membranes rely on fat, and your hormones depend on fat. Without fats, you'd be a malfunctioning skeleton with opinions. Fats come in several varieties. Saturated fats, found in butter and coconut oil, are solid at room temperature and stable under heat. Perfectly fine in moderation, unless you're deep frying everything like a county fair vendor. Monounsaturated fats, such as olive oil, are liquid and stable, beloved by cardiologists and Mediterranean grandmothers alike. Polyunsaturated fats, including omega-3 and omega-6, are essential but fragile. They oxidize easily, which is why seed oils spark more debate than British weather. Your body needs both omega-3 and omega-6, but in balance. Omega-3 reduces inflammation. Omega-6 promotes it for healing. Too much omega-6 and your body behaves like it's constantly preparing for battle. And then there are trans fats, artificial horrors created by hydrogenating oils. These fats confuse your cells, disrupt your metabolism, and should be avoided with the same enthusiasm you avoid replying to group chats. Fats also help absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K, the fat-soluble vitamins. Without dietary fat, these vitamins pass through you unused, like tourists who never leave the airport. Now, protein. The celebrity of the macronutrient world. Every cell in your body contains protein. Unlike carbs and fats, your body cannot store protein. so if you don't eat enough, it will cannibalize your muscles, hair, and nails. A charming thought. Proteins are made of 20 amino acids. 9 are essential, meaning you must obtain them from food. Animal proteins are complete, containing all essential amino acids. Many plant proteins are incomplete, but combining them, like beans and rice, fills the gaps. Variety is key unless you enjoy nutritional roulette. For muscle building, you need leucine, the amino acid that flips the muscle building switch. Most people need around 30 grams of quality protein per meal to activate this switch. Smaller amounts throughout the day are about as effective as whispering encouragement at a brick wall. Protein also has a higher thermic effect, meaning your body burns more calories digesting it. Not enough to justify eating an entire cow, but helpful nonetheless. Now, let's talk about energy production. Carbs and fats enter your bloodstream as raw materials, but they must be delivered into the mitochondria, yes, the powerhouse of the cell, to be converted into ATP, your body's energy currency. Mitochondria require micronutrients as cofactors, which is why deficiencies can make you feel like a Victorian ghost haunting your own life. A healthy metabolism behaves like a hybrid engine, switching between glucose and fat depending on availability. When you eat, your body prioritizes burning glucose. Once glucose is gone, it switches to burning stored fat. This flexibility is a sign of metabolic health. But if you snack constantly, your body never enters fat-burning mode. It's like topping up your petrol tank every 5 minutes, unnecessary and slightly unhinged. Now for the non-caloric nutrients: water, vitamins, and minerals. Water is essential, yet many people treat hydration like an optional hobby. Minerals are grouped by function. Electrolytes regulate electrical signals, builders support bones, and catalysts enable chemical reactions. All of this happens in the gut, a long tube filled with neurons and trillions of microbes. It's often called the second brain, though it arguably makes better decisions than the first. Your microbiome thrives on fiber and fermented foods. When fed properly, it produces short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation and support gut health. When neglected, the mucus layer thins, leading to leaky gut, where unwanted substances slip into your bloodstream and trigger immune responses. Not ideal. Damage occurs through 3 main processes: inflammation, oxidation, and glycation. Inflammation is useful in short bursts, but disastrous when chronic. Oxidation produces free radicals that damage cells, but antioxidants from fruits and vegetables help neutralize them. Glycation occurs when excess sugar binds to proteins, creating sticky compounds that age your tissues faster than British politics ages prime ministers. Your body repairs damage through processes like autophagy, which activates when insulin levels drop. But modern diets and constant snacking keep insulin high, preventing cleanup. Stress hormones like cortisol also wreak havoc, breaking down muscle and encouraging fat storage, particularly around the midsection, where it can glare at you in the mirror. Modern food engineering doesn't help. In nature, foods rarely combine sugar and fat, but ultra-processed foods are designed to hit the bliss point, overwhelming your brain's stop signals. Add preservatives that disrupt gut bacteria and emulsifiers that erode the gut lining, and you have a recipe for metabolic chaos. So how do we fix the machine? Step 1. Remove ultra-processed foods. Use the one-ingredient rule. The best foods don't have ingredients. They are ingredients. Step 2. Prioritize protein to control hunger and protect muscle. Step 3. Adjust carbs and fats based on your lifestyle. Step 4. Fill micronutrient gaps with targeted supplements if needed, but only after addressing diet quality. Now that we've established the basics of how your internal machinery works, or occasionally malfunctions like a British printer on a Monday morning, let's dive deeper into the practical strategy for keeping this biological contraption running smoothly. Before you count calories, carbs, fats, or the number of almonds in your snack pack, you must first eliminate the industrially engineered nonsense masquerading as food. These items are designed not to nourish you, but to bypass your brain's natural satiety mechanisms with the precision of a pickpocket at a crowded train station. Ultra-processed foods combine sugar, fat, salt, and additives in ways nature never intended. They're crafted to be irresistible, shelf-stable, and profitable, 3 qualities that rarely align with human health. If your great-great-grandmother wouldn't recognize it as food, it probably isn't. And if she would recognize it but would slap it out of your hand, that's also a clue. The simplest rule is this: eat foods that look like they came from nature, not a laboratory. Apples, not apple-flavored cereal bars. Potatoes, not dehydrated potato-shaped crisps. Chicken, not chicken-style protein discs. If the ingredient list reads like a chemistry exam, politely decline. Once you've cleared out the edible imposters, we move to step 2, lock in the foundation. This step is all about protein, the nutrient that keeps you full, supports muscle, and prevents you from raiding the biscuit tin at 3 p.m. Protein triggers the release of satiety hormones, including GLP-1, which modern weight loss drugs attempt to mimic. But you can activate this naturally by eating a proper portion of protein at each meal. Aim for a serving size appropriate for your body, not the dainty portions found in certain cafes where the food arrives looking like it's auditioning for a minimalist art exhibit. When you prioritize protein, you naturally reduce cravings and stabilize your energy levels. It's like giving your body a firm, sensible pep talk. With protein secured, we proceed to step 3. Adjust the energy dials. Carbs and fats are your body's primary fuel sources, and you can adjust them based on your lifestyle. If you spend most of your day sitting, perhaps heroically defending your chair from the threat of productivity, you may benefit from reducing carbs and relying more on healthy fats for steady energy. If you train like an athlete, you'll need more carbs to fuel performance. This flexibility ends the endless diet wars. Keto, paleo, high carb, low fat, they're all just different ways of adjusting the dials. Choose the approach that suits your routine and temperament. If a diet makes you miserable, it's not sustainable. Finally, we arrive at step 4. Fill the gaps. Supplements are exactly what the name implies. Supplemental. They are not substitutes for a poor diet. No matter how many influencers insist otherwise, you cannot out-supplement a lifestyle built on energy drinks and convenience foods. That said, modern life does create nutritional gaps. We spend more time indoors, our soil is less nutrient-dense, and our diets are often less varied than they should be. Supplements can help, but only when used strategically. Get blood work, identify deficiencies, and choose reputable brands. Think of supplements as insurance policies. Helpful, but not a replacement for locking your front door. Now, let's zoom out and consider the broader picture. Your body is a marvel of biological engineering, capable of adapting to stress, repairing damage, and maintaining balance. But it requires cooperation. When you feed it well, move regularly, sleep properly, and manage stress, it rewards you with energy, resilience, and the ability to climb stairs without questioning your life choices. When you neglect it, the consequences accumulate quietly. Chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, hormonal imbalances, these are not dramatic events but slow, steady drips that erode your health over time. The good news is that your body is remarkably forgiving. Improvements compound quickly, and even small changes can yield noticeable benefits. Let's revisit the gut for a moment, because it deserves more appreciation than it gets. Your microbiome influences digestion, immunity, mood, and even cravings. When it's thriving, you feel better. When it's struggling, everything feels slightly off, like wearing socks that are just a bit too damp. Supporting your gut doesn't require elaborate rituals. Eat fiber-rich foods, include fermented items like yogurt or sauerkraut, and avoid excessive processed foods. Your gut bacteria are like a community of tiny tenants. Feed them well, and they'll pay rent on time. Neglect them, and they'll riot. Now, a word on the metabolic flexibility, the ability to switch between burning glucose and fat. This is a hallmark of good health, yet many people lose it due to constant snacking and high-sugar diets. Restoring this flexibility involves spacing out meals, reducing unnecessary snacking, and allowing your body to enter fat-burning mode. You don't need extreme fasting, just sensible meal timing. Speaking of fasting, let's address autophagy, the cellular cleanup process. When insulin levels drop, your cells begin recycling damaged components. It's like spring cleaning for your body. You don't need to starve yourself. Simply avoid constant grazing. Give your body time to finish digesting before you feed it again. Stress management is also crucial. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which breaks down muscle and encourages fat storage. It also makes you crave comfort foods, which is why stressful days often end with you staring at an empty biscuit packet, wondering what happened. Managing stress through sleep, movement, and relaxation techniques is essential. Sleep, by the way, is not optional. Poor sleep disrupts hunger hormones, reduces insulin sensitivity, and makes you feel like a malfunctioning robot. Aim for consistent, high-quality sleep. Your body will thank you, and your morning self will be less of a gremlin. You don't need to train like an Olympian. Just move regularly. Walk, lift weights, stretch, anything that keeps your muscles engaged. Muscle is metabolically active tissue, and maintaining it is one of the best things you can do for long-term health. Let's talk briefly about aging, because it happens to the best of us. As you age, muscle mass declines, bone density decreases, and recovery slows. But these changes are not inevitable. Strength training, adequate protein, and proper nutrition can preserve muscle and bone well into later life. Think of it as future-proofing your body. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: motivation. Many people struggle to maintain healthy habits because they rely on motivation, which is about as reliable as British sunshine. Instead, build routines and environments that support your goals, keep healthy foods visible, prepare meals in advance, and create habits that require minimal willpower. Consistency beats intensity. A moderate, sustainable approach will always outperform extreme diets that last about as long as New Year's resolutions. Before we wrap up, let's revisit the 4-step strategy. Remove ultra-processed foods. Prioritize protein. Control hunger and support muscle. Adjust carbs and fats. Tailor energy to your lifestyle. Fill the gaps. Use supplements strategically. Follow these steps, and your body will function more smoothly than a well-oiled teapot. Ignore them, and you may find yourself wondering why you feel tired, sluggish, and vaguely betrayed by your own biology. In conclusion, nutrition is not about perfection. It's about understanding how your body works and making choices that support it. You don't need extreme diets, expensive powders, or mystical detox teas. You need real food, balanced meals, and a bit of common sense, something the British have been pretending to possess for centuries. If you learned something new, let the algorithm know. And if this hits 2,000 likes, I'll drop a part 2. Comment on the topic you want a full dedicated video on next.